Smith just replies, "You should have done that earlier." Oh,
Absolute top class reply.
it's disgraceful. Throw the book at him.
Yes. Hello and welcome back to Off the Crossbar Podcast with myself, Regan, Walsh and Bradley Morris, as usual on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. How are you today, Brad?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got plenty to talk about on this week's preview show. Obviously, we'll look forward to the FA Cup games a lot later on and the WSL talk. But we've got the team of the years that were announced on Wednesday, so yesterday for us. We've had some midweek games and there's plenty of other stuff. Before we jump in anywhere, before we get onto your big talking point of the last 24 hours, Chelsea versus Leicester City took place on Tuesday evening. I've forgotten what day it was. And you've got to say, Chelsea are really just biding their time now with Frank Lampard before he gets the sack.
It's about as inevitable as a VAR decision going against the Villa.
Yeah. I'm so glad you just allowed me to slip in that Biden pun. I had to get something in there.
Well, I had stuff planned, but, reality decided to mess with me.
So they lost 2-0 to Leicester City. Wilfred and Ndidi scoring after 6 minutes, and then James Maddison after the 41 minutes. Chelsea just didn't look up. I don't know. They were just wrong, weren't they?
If you go by the league table, is this surprising?
No.
They've been beaten by a very good Leicester team who deserve to be where they are.
Yeah, it's now a fifth defeat in 8 games in the Premier League for Frank Lampard. So it's one of them where it shouldn't actually come as a shock to people anymore that they are performing so badly as they are. Yes, they looked okay at times in like the FA Cup the other week against Morecambe, and then 1 or 2 games where they picked up a point, but they're just not good enough, are they?
No. And obviously with the issues of overseas shipping right now, his sack has been delayed by Roman.
Yes, though I think it's one of them that could come within the next few games, even not days. I think he's just hanging on by a thread of a needle. The Athletics seem to be saying after the game yesterday that should they sack Frank Lampard, they would look towards a German-speaking manager. I'm not too sure as to why.
So hang on, they're going for the Randy Lerner approach?
Yes.
To explain the Randy Lerner approach, it's we signed all these French players, but the English manager doesn't know how to do it. How do we get them playing good? French manager.
In comes Remy Gard, was it at the time?
It was Remy Gard. And only realising, hang on. But now the English players are upset because they don't speak English.
Exactly.
Oh no.
So there was obviously the names of Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann.
What would Nagelsmann go to Chelsea?
I don't know. There was a good few other names that were mentioned, but I think it is maybe a couple of games left before I think Frank gets the sack. For me, I don't think he's there next season.
Be amazed if he's there by Easter.
It's going to be really ridiculous for me if he is there much longer. Credit to Leicester, looking absolutely brilliant in the league. Now up to our third. They did temporarily go top at the time for 24 hours. But yeah, Brendan Rodgers' sides are looking really, really good this season. 2 standout players, I've got to say, in recent weeks have been Wesley Fofana and James Justin. I think them 2 players have been really good for Leicester recently.
Is that Luton born and bred James Justin?
It is. Got to give the Luton born and bred lad a shout out.
Which city? We watched the man live.
Incredible talent, and hopefully he may get an England call up in the near future.
Not another right back.
It's just what Gareth Southgate needs, is another right back.
Can you play that back?
Yeah, he can do.
Anyway, we'll do fine then.
The other game that took place on Tuesday at the London Stadium, I nearly forgot what it was called then. I nearly called it Upton Park. That was their old one. Saw West Ham play host to West Bromwich Albion, and it was the Hammers that ran out 2-1 winners thanks to a Jared Bowen and Mikel Antonio goal. Matheus Pereira scored for West Brom. The main talking point there was pre-game, where Sam Allardyce announced that there was an agreement in the deal between West Ham and West Brom to not play Robert Smith in this game, which is, I mean, if it was a loan deal for Snodgrass, I could understand, but it's not. It's a permanent deal, so I don't know why he wasn't able to play.
Nothing suspicious in all that at all.
Mm.
But no, they found that there was nothing wrong with it, apparently.
Oh yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't understand why West Ham would want that sort of thing in their deal. It just doesn't make sense, or why West Brom would agree to it. It just, for me, makes no sense at all. Because I mean, there was say that if they didn't agree that, then he would have only completed his move yesterday rather than a couple of weeks before the game. So yeah, that's where we are with that situation. And then on Wednesday, there was midweek games. Early games saw Manchester City play Aston Villa at the Etihad, and it was City that won 2-0 thanks to a Bernardo Silva goal and Ilkay Gundogan goal from the penalty spot. A lot happened in that game, especially around the Bernardo Silva goal, so I'll let you crack on with your rant.
So this is the thing, because I vented to you on Messenger last night saying this whole podcast is just going to be a 1 hour long rant.
Yeah.
In our own way, but since that, I feel I've actually achieved enlightenment.
Do explain.
Inner peace sometimes is required for moments like this. And I can officially now say I am well and truly broken. I could shout, I can scream for this, but I'm not going to.
Wow.
We're just going to go through this in a calm manner.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's offside. We all know this. So obvious. But the officials have clearly defined that Mings has deliberately played the ball.
Yep.
Even though he clearly did not have it under control.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to explain your thoughts towards that bit, or?
I mean, for me, like you said, he's not intentionally trying to do a movement of right, control it and then look to a teammate or to find a teammate and pass it down. And by the time it's come down off him, Rodri's then come back from his offside position and put in a tackle on him. And I just think that's immediately the flag should be raised, because he's come back from an offside position, and he was offside in the whole build-up when the ball was played over towards him in the initial build-up.
Yeah.
And for me, I can understand your frustration, because I don't understand how that can be not seen as offside.
I mean, in the moment, I wasn't thinking, hang on, wasn't he just down the other end of the pitch? In that moment, I'm thinking, Tyrone, you idiot, why didn't you just hit it away?
Yeah.
So it's another example of him being too casual in the game, which is just making more fans turn on him. When he had actually had a really good game.
Yeah.
Away from this, let's go on the game itself, just for a bit. Because I can go for the rest of it afterwards. But the game itself, Man City deserved that. Completely.
Yeah.
No, it was the most entertaining yet nerve-shredding 90 minutes of my life.
It shows how much Villa have improved, though, because a year or two ago, you would say, oh, Man City would absolutely thump you, destroy you the whole game.
I believe the 6-1 was a year ago. Or December. I feel like it was, because it was right before the League Cup final.
Yes, it was. I do actually now seem to remember that. Yes, now you've said that. So it was roughly a year or so ago to the date. Enthralling match throughout the whole 90 minutes, and definitely a squeaky bum time moment throughout the whole game.
Yeah, we had our chances. Well, we practically gave it our all on 3 days training after not being able to do anything for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I mean, that was Aston Villa's first team's first game since the start of 2021, which I think
It was
Man United.
It was
Man United this New Year's Day, yeah. So that was their first game in 20 days, which is incredible feat for them, considering they've had little to no training, as you said, 3 days due to COVID spread at the club. So massive credit to Dean Smith's side there.
And now do we credit Dean Smith ourselves?
Yes.
Because this man was sent off just stupidly. Not on Dean Smith's part, but of officials. So you obviously will have seen by now his comment towards the fourth official, David Coote.
Yep, I have done, indeed.
Did you get Jordan balls for Christmas? There's two things on that. Firstly, Dino, I love you.
Incredible quote. Might
second,
go down as quote of the season.
And second, it couldn't have been more spot on.
Yeah.
And now to the man known as John Moss. So in his post-match comments, talks about the whole incident, said he never swore, somehow, and John Moss has come over to him after he's said the greatest quote of the season, saying, I'm interpreting the laws of the game. And Smith, the despicable bastard. I tried not to swear then. Why did I do it? Smith just replies, you should have done that earlier. Oh.
Absolute top class reply.
It's disgraceful. Throw the book at him.
Yes.
And John Moss, as thin-skinned as he is, he sends him off.
Incredible. Any more on that game?
There's so much more. I could go on for a while with this, because now I want to turn my attention to Peter Moulton.
The ex-referee who works for BT Sport. Is that the right fellow?
The BT Sport referee expert.
I mean, he hasn't been in the game for years. He can't be classed as an expert. This
man decided to turn into Boris Johnson and do a complete U-turn.
Oh, was he?
In the game itself, after the incident, he says, I don't know how that hasn't been pulled back for offside here. So that's obviously sent us on to frenzy. We've been screwed over again.
Yeah.
And literally, half an hour later, so someone's obviously been on the phone. It was Peter. You can't be seen to be going against another official. You know the rules. So half an hour later, he's come on and has said that he didn't know the rule during the match, and then he's only looked up and it turns out he was onside.
Jesus, that is a quicker U-turn than anything Boris Johnson has done in recent history.
But it's even worse than that, because this is Peter Walsh. Right? His known rep is that he's just said to be wrong by fans whenever he comes in with his opinion, which is why everyone hates. Let's go to Peter Walton, shall we?
Yeah.
This is the one time he disagrees with the on-field decision, and it turns out, by the letter of the law, that it's actually the right one.
It's crazy.
It is. I also want to go on to another thing that you'll be all over this one. Because BT's pundits were having a nice chat on this as well. So, when you want to hear an opinion on this as a defender in that situation, do you want to hear from ex-midfielder and former Birmingham City midfielder Robbie Savage?
I never want to hear from Robbie Savage ever.
That's good, because I'm sure you would want to hear from one of the best defenders in Premier League history in Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah.
So who's the one who gets to talk about this more?
I'm gonna say Savage.
It felt like it was. I mean, Rio made a good point of it, because Mings should be clearing the ball, as we've said it.
Yeah.
Mings clears it, the whole situation doesn't happen. Robbie Savage, like, well, by the law, let's read the rule underneath, and it's the exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. There was another one.
It's crazy.
I don't know if you'd seen it, that I'd retweeted, because Dermot Gallagher's been on Sky this morning with the ref chat or whatever it is. And there's a massive loophole in this law. I don't give a shit what it's called. He's on it talking about there's loopholes in this rule. And, he got outdone. Just not on a stream, wherever it was, or a different station. Outdone by Michael Owen.
Jesus, that must be embarrassing.
The video, I've retweeted the video. That's on my Twitter, at @BradMorris_96. Michael Owen just completely outdoes the argument.
Incredible. Rant over? Because there was another game on Wednesday night, by the way.
Who gives a fuck?
Me and the rest of the public.
The rest of the public hates that Man U are now top of the league again.
It gives us something different to talk about for once, rather than Aston Villa for the last 10 minutes or so.
Actually, I completely forgot. I wrote my final thoughts in this. So, in conclusion, we found out that goal hanging is now okay. Because what's to stop a defender now? Or not a defender, a forward, standing behind the defender in an offside position, hoping that he makes a mistake and he can just knock the ball off him.
Yeah.
And shout out to Specsavers for their tweet. Does anyone have John Moss's number?
Again, top tweet.
Now you may talk about your top of the table team.
Right, thank you. So 10-minute rant over at Aston Villa. That's not the last time we talk about them this weekend.
I hold you personally responsible. You should have stopped.
It's fine. So the second game on Wednesday evening saw Manchester United travel down to Craven Cottage to take on Fulham, and it was the host that took an early lead thanks to an Ademola Lookman goal, which was quite surprising. I don't think anyone was expecting United to concede that early against Fulham. I know I certainly wasn't. And then United did get...
Do you want to know my instant reaction when I saw them score?
What?
When are United going to equalise?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting Fulham to hold on for the game, realistically. It took 15, 16 minutes for United to equalise thanks to an Edison Cavani goal. He's looking really well settled into this squad now, bringing that bit of experience. And then 20 minutes into the second half, sorry, I had to do the quick maths there, Paul Pogba scored an absolute worldie of a goal.
It was good.
To seal the 3 points. Seal the 3 points for Golden Social side and send them back to the top of the table heading into this FA Cup weekend. What a goal that was!
It was quite. It was the turns he was doing before he had the shot.
Yeah,
he was surrounded by two of them, and he's got away. And then obviously left foot.
Screwing from 25 yards out. Can't complain about that. I think everyone, after Cavani's goal went in, I think everyone expected United to go on and win that. I think he was surprised that it was close for as long as it was in the early bits of the second half. But I think once that Pogba goal went in, I think United were always going to win there. Though Fulham did have their chances, but United were very resolute at the back. Right, so that's all the midweek games wrapped up, unless I've missed anything. Now on to...
Have you missed anything?
No. I'm hoping you haven't, because I can't bother to go back to it. So on Wednesday morning, UEFA announced the fans team of the year for both the men and women's for last season's Champions League competitions. So the men's team is as follows: Manuel Neuer in goal, defence of Alphonso Davies, Virgil van Dijk, Sergio Ramos and Joshua Kimmich, midfield three of Kevin De Bruyne, Lionel Messi and Thiago Alcantara, and a forward three of Neymar Jr., Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski. So goalkeeper Neuer got no problem with. Davies, Van Dijk and Kimmich, again, got no problems with them being in there. Sergio Ramos, I have no idea how on earth he's got in that team at all.
Because he can score very good penalties.
I mean, that's about it. Kevin De Bruyne, Thiago, I can understand, had great tournaments for their clubs respectively. Lionel Messi, he's only got there on name merit, same as Cristiano Ronaldo. Because like we said a few weeks ago, when the nominees were announced, they both had really poor tournaments for themselves, and their clubs didn't have a good tournament at all.
And that was why I guess they were going to be in there, because name merit.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason them two have got in there. If it was based on actual...
I feel like Ronaldo has deserved it more than Messi.
No. If it was on last season's Champions League alone, I don't think either of them merited getting in that tournament. I think
Maybe not.
Team, sorry. They were both awful. Neymar, for what he did with PSG and getting them to a final, was, undoubtedly no problem with him getting in there. And then Robert Lewandowski in there for Bayern Munich, I think that had to happen. But I mean, just looking at that, that's only 5 Bayern Munich players in that team. A team that didn't they go unbeaten in the whole tournament?
It felt like it.
Yeah, so I just don't understand that. I mean, when we did ours, I put, I think, 9 players in. I think it was only De Bruyne and Erling Haaland that weren't from Bayern Munich in mine. I think you maybe had 2 or 3 other players that weren't from Bayern Munich. But like you said, Messi and Ronaldo got there on merit, and that alone rather than their performances. And then the women's team was announced. So in goal, you had Sarah Bahardi of Lyon, Lucy Bronze at right back of Lyon and now Manchester City, Kadisha Buchanan of Lyon, Wendy Renard of Lyon, Magdalena Eriksson of Chelsea, Amadine Henry of Lyon, Kira Hamarui of Barcelona, Sarah Bjork Gunnarsdottir of Lyon, Delphine Cascarino of Lyon, Daniela van der Donk of Arsenal, and Pernilla Harder of Chelsea.
Would you like to request your 10 minutes of rant time?
Not 10 minutes, I can do it in less. Right,
sorry.
all the Lyon players in that team, no problem whatsoever. They've won it 5 times in a row now, I think. Incredible tournament, fully deserved it. Magdalena Eriksson for Chelsea, again, great season for Chelsea, not just in the Champions League, but in all competitions. She was definitely one of the standout defenders. Kira Hamraoui, I think there can be question marks over her because Barcelona really didn't have that good of a tournament, but she would have been the standout player in that Barcelona team. Daniela van der Donk, again, very question marks for even her standards. She didn't have the best of Champions League actions for Arsenal, and I think she would be one of the first to admit that herself. And then Pernilla Harder.
If I can just say one thing, that you would almost say that she's not even the best player at Arsenal.
No. And the best player at Arsenal didn't get in it, and she was the top scorer in the fucking competition. How can the top scorer of the Champions League not get into the Champions League Team of the Year? Somebody explain this to me. Viviana Miedema finished with 10 goals in the Champions League last season, yeah? There was 2 players, I can't remember, but Pernilla Harder wasn't one of them. I think she finished with about 8 or 9. And don't get me wrong, Pernilla Harder is a phenomenal player, right? And I'm never going to take that away from her. She is incredible. And what she's done with Wolfsburg over the last few years is incredible. But the fact that she got into this Team of the Year ahead of Viviana Miedema is crazy. How, if the top scorer in the men's game didn't get into it, there'd be an uproar. An absolute uproar. Like, she got voted, Pernilla Harder got voted the best forward of that Champions League. It's mind-boggling. Because the other 2 goal scorers that got 10 goals was Beling Bjorg Porvalsdottir for Breiðbank in Iceland, and Emanuel Ogabavuga, probably pronounce that, for FC Minsk currently. So the fact that none of them 3 got into the Team of the Year, it just doesn't make sense.
Do you feel better now?
Not really, no. I just don't understand. Just like, if that happened in the men's game, there'd be uproar about it, though, wouldn't there? If Lewandowski missed out this season after the incredible year he had, there would have been absolute uproar.
There were criminal charges brought forward against UEFA.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. How, like, in voting for forward of the season, she finished 3rd. So Pernilla Harder finished on 93 points. 2nd was a teammate, Lyon's Delphine Cascarino. Again, no complaints. Cascarino had a great tournament for Lyon. And then Miedema was 3rd best out of the nominations for best forward. And it just, yes, Arsenal didn't have a good tournament, but you can't blame that on Miedemar. She's done all she can do. They lost to PSG in the quarterfinals. I don't know what they're expecting of her to do. Like, what does she need to do to be given the credit that she deserves? Like, because over here in the WSL, everyone knows she's the GOAT. She broke the record of most WSL goals. I think she got 52 and 50 games at the time, and now has got like 53 and 55 or 54 and 56. I can't remember the record off the top of my head. So she gets the respect in club competition, but it just seems that in Europe she doesn't seem to get the same respect, which is crazy.
It's good to have an Arsenal now and again, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is nice to get something off your chest. I can definitely. There's definitely less stress on myself. Right. It is the FA Cup weekend, as we said. Round 4 ties are starting tonight. So yes, game going on tonight is non-league Chorley playing on against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then we've got games through the whole weekend until Tuesday evening. So just a quick run through the fixtures. Southampton play Arsenal, Barnsley, Norwich, Brighton, Blackpool, Millwall, Bristol City, Sheffield United, Plymouth, Swansea, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Doncaster, Cheltenham, Man City, Chelsea, Luton, Fulham, Burnley, Brentford, Leicester, Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Sheffield Wednesday, Wickham, Tottenham, and Bournemouth versus Crawley. What are your picks of them games?
Well, the obvious one for me would be Chorley and Wolves,
which is tonight or tomorrow for us.
It would be the Friday night. So there's still no previews that yet, so I can't say my Chorley knowledge is any good. But if there's a Premier League team I think they would want to face right now, it's Wolves. If they want a serious chance of getting through.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like we've said the last couple of weeks on other shows, Wolves are really struggling. And you got to say that they are definitely there for the taking tonight. So best chance for Chorley to progress into the round 5 of the tournament, and definitely would be something phenomenal for them. But I think it's one of them where Wolves will win it, even as bad as they have been. I'd love to see Chorley get through and there be an FA Cup upset, but I just don't see it happening.
Just the best way to define round 4. You know, round 3, it's the greatest weekend in the English football calendar. Trademark it.
For you.
Trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Round 4 is like, you know, there's just this one person in the friendship group, and they say something, and you're just like, oh, fucking hell.
Just shut up, or why did you say that for?
Round 4 comes in. Hi, guys. Oh,
yeah.
That's round 4 of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Round 3 is welcomed in by the social group. Come on.
Round 4 is 2020.
Yeah, round 4 is 2020.
It's the best way to describe it. It's not the most interesting. It's really a boring weekend.
It depends on the fixtures, and there's barely any this year that are standouts.
Yeah,
Couldn't care less about Man Utd ball right now when there's no crowd in it.
Yeah, I mean, we literally had it a week ago, so I don't want to. What do we need to see again for?
And we know they're going to be like this weekend, hyping it up. Oh, it's Man U versus Liverpool, the North-West battle. No, it isn't. They're going to rest all the players, and it's going to be nothing.
I mean, the only thing probably to look forward to from a United fan point is that we might see the debut of Amad Diallo, the young 18-year-old that they signed from Atalanta. And Donny van der Beek will play.
Yeah, I was going to say, knowing Liverpool, they'll play a full strength 11, because if they're going to play that team against a load of nursery kids, then they're going to play against Man U.
Oh, yeah. Is there another game you wanted to look at? Did you say Man City versus Cheltenham?
That is one, but come on. If Cheltenham win that...
Pep's a fraud.
Pep is a fraud. And I don't want to be stupid and say that I'll do something if Cheltenham win, because then...
Yeah, don't... Whatever you don't say, if Cheltenham win, I'm going to do this, because I will make you 100% do it, whatever you were thinking of doing, and I don't want you to do anything stupid. Exactly. So, for your own health and safety and good, don't do it. Right. We'll get on to our predictions for that in a bit. This weekend we have some WSL fixtures, or not some, we have a full slate of WSL fixtures to look forward to. Touching wood, obviously, that none of them get called off.
With the way the weather is up north and everything, you can expect the yard water not to be possibly.
Yes. So Birmingham City were meant to play Everton last night or on Wednesday night in one of their catch-up games in Solihull, where Birmingham played their games, but that was called off due to a waterlogged pitch. Yes, here in Birmingham, we can confirm that the weather was absolutely dreadful and has been for the last week. So the games in the WSL this weekend, Saturday, the game is at the Banksy Stadium as Aston Villa play Reading at 12:30. Sunday sees Arsenal play West Ham at 12 o'clock. At the same time at Leigh Sports Village, Manchester United welcome Birmingham City. And the 2 o'clock kickoff sees Brighton and Hove Albion play Manchester City and Bristol City play Chelsea. And then the final game is Tottenham play Everton at 2:30. Some very good fixtures to look forward to this week. Aston Villa Reading.
If you bored of the FA Cup, check out a women's game.
Yep, definitely worth doing. It's free to sign up on the FA Player. All you need to do is have a email account and set a password, and then it's free to watch all the games apart from Tottenham versus Everton if you're in the United Kingdom, because that's on BT Sports, though you can listen to the audio for it. But the other 5 games are available to watch on the FA Player. Speaking of Chelsea women, they played in the Conti Cup last night against Manchester City, and they won 4-2. 4-2. I know the score after extra time, and there were some absolute screamers scored by Chelsea. Neve Charles scored one, and Sophie Ingle as well scored a cracking goal. So if you haven't seen them, do go online and look up them, because they were 2 excellent goals. There is another Conti Cup game tonight between West Ham United and Durham City, or tonight for us. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who joins the other 3 teams that are in the semi-finals. That is all the women's football talk. Obviously, we'll be back later on in the week, or next week, should I say, not back later on in the week, because this is our last show of the week, but we will be back next week to talk about all of the games that have happened across the games that we've looked forward to. Right. Predictions league, or predictions game, for what fixtures have you decided to choose?
It's a bit boring. Looking for it. So for the first one, let's just have Villa and Newcastle in the Premier League. The Steve Bruce derby.
I'm going to go 2-0
and if
Aston Villa.
I'm going to go 3-0 to the Villa.
No, that was weird. I literally had, since you said 3, I had in the rest of the score. I knew you was going to say that.
It was weird, that connection, like when slow, then so I was just here saying, waiting to finish. But just because I don't really want to preview this. Really, there's only one thing I can say. After Smith's red card, you could say there isn't going to be a Premier League manager in the dugout on Saturday.
Hey. Game 2?
Yeah. The Titans of the South, Brighton and Hove Albion, versus the Titans of the North, Blackpool.
That is some fucking travel.
Well, Blackpool is.
Fucking hell, that is bloody no, that is travel and a half. 1-0 Brighton.
1-0. Cross 2-0. Okay, next. Chelsea Luton.
Why?
Hey, if we're going against my team.
No, I hate doing. I want to have a little bit of hope in the Mad Hatters and Luton win 2-1.
And I will join you in that, because they're going to win 2-1 as well.
Okay. He's going to say something crazy. What, 2-1?
I wanted
to. Is that our three? Are we going to do 3 European games as well?
I'm looking for it, so I need to see if there is anything that takes my fancy.
I mean, we're not doing 3 more FA Cup games.
No, God no. Yeah, we'll go with this one.
Okay.
So, game 4. AC Milan against Atalanta. Interesting matchup.
It's got a potential to be an absolute cracker, this one, I think. I'm going to go with AC Milan to win 3-1.
2-2.
For a Desmond. Game 5 or whatever.
We have not been blessed in the Euro fixtures this week. So, here's a battle in Liga. I don't know where this one team is in the league, but we'll go Monaco and Marseille.
I'm going to go. I don't know whether Arkadiusz Milik's going to be able to play because his transfer is practically done. We'll explain that in our transfer show that will be out later on today. I'm going to go Monaco to win 1-0.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the final game, please.
Let's go really crazy. So, this game takes place 8:40 in the morning.
And what time in the morning?
8:40 in the morning. Down under.
In what country?
Adelaide United. A Melbourne victory.
I mean, please never do that accent again because that was awful. And
What's wrong with it?
I never, ever, ever want to hear that again.
Struth, mate. Make your prediction.
Please shut up. Adelaide versus Melbourne victory. I'll go Adelaide to win 3-1.
Oh, crikey. I have no idea who the better team is out of these two.
Well, I think my prediction might have helped you out a little bit because I did do a tiny bit of research.
But see, I'd go into this with no research. I'll do this properly. But
And by research, I mean I looked at the league for season.
You can't be doing that. We made this a rule.
No, we haven't.
Well, it is now. From now on, no league table research. So I'll go Adelaide United 2-1.
Okay. And
I'll never do the Australian
of...
accent again if you promise to do league table research.
Yeah. So heading into this weekend's prediction league, you're on 42 points. I'm on 61. Though I doubt any of us will get that many in the FA Cup fixtures that we've gone for. So that is the FA Cup stuff talked about. It's now time for Did You See That?
Oh, he missed it! I do not believe what I've just seen! Very interesting! Oh! Something weird is going on. Shit! Did you see that?
Yeah, no, a bit of a week. So let's go through the obvious one first. So you would have almost certainly definitely seen the goal scored by the Newport County goalkeeper Tom King.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, but I don't know if you'd have seen the update that's been given today.
Probably not, no.
Yeah. This goal is now officially recognised as a Guinness World Record for the longest goal in a competitive match.
What about how far was Paul Robinson's then?
90 something, I think.
How far was this one?
This has been put down as 105 yards.
Jesus.
You think about it, you watch it back. He's not on the pitch when he starts running.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Technically, Technically, you have to give the assist to Storm Christoph, but
And massive assist to Storm Christoph there.
yeah, but that's not going to go down in the Guinness World Record, is it?
No.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's go to the one that you've been bragging about this morning.
Right. So so it's to do with a person that used to be at your club, Aston Villa. So the story goes, this is written by Titan Sport Plus, which are a Chinese news company. And they are saying, according to Zhuangcheng Cable, a listed company in the Shenzhen Stock Exchange, published a notice. Police is authorised to arrest Tony Shah, the former actual controller, due to suspected defecation causing damages to the company's interests.
No.
Yep.
What? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
I told you it would be something interesting to keep an eye out on, didn't I?
Oh, I've not seen this.
Yeah.
This should have been all over the Twitter sphere, oh no.
You would have expected it to be, yeah. I did see it come up on mine. I was like, wow.
All those years we were telling Birmingham City that he wasn't Carson Young.
Turns out he's just as bad. Absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Is it funny there was a handcuff emoji?
Don't know if there is.
It isn't like a prison cell emoji.
Yeah, there is. There's some sort of emoji like
you
that.
better get used to that one because we're looking at a prison cell for a few years.
Definitely.
Man, that guy was a fraud. You don't understand how loved that guy was when he was the owner.
Oh, I do. I do understand how much he was loved.
It all just came crashing down in the space of a month.
Yep. So it does seem like if your club was invested by Chinese owners in recent years, it is bad news.
I never want a Chinese ownership ever again. How is it Wolves of all the clubs got it right with Chinese owners?
Because they know George Mendes.
Yeah. Although I still feel like there's something fishy about that.
Oh yeah, there is incredibly. They're practically Portugal FC. Yeah, so that was my only bit of did you see that? Definitely worth it. So we are now back onto our game, which we have finally came up with a name for, which is Guess the Squad.
Before we get to this, we have the other bits of news that I feel like we need to go over.
Which are?
Because I want to go briefly on Real Madrid.
Oh yes, so it was Copa reaction on Wednesday for Real Madrid, and they played third division side. I've forgotten what they've called.
Spanish grades. Wait, shall I go for this? Yeah.
Alcoyano.
Spanish GCSE.
Alcoyano.
No, you probably said it wrong. Alcoyano.
Fucking Alcoyano. And it was the third division side that went through 2-1 after extra time. So Eder Militao scored for Real Madrid on the stroke of half time. And then 10 minutes from full time, Jose Solbas equalised for the third tier side. And then in extra time, 5 minutes into the second half of extra time, Ramon Lopez was sent off for a second bookable offence, and then 5 minutes from time, Juan Nan scored the winner to knock out Zinedine Zidane's side, which is incredible.
This is the lowest point that both Real Madrid and Barcelona have been at the same time.
Yes.
Isn't there now already talk of sacking Zidane again?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of Real Madrid and the man who started their downfall, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Dos Santos Aveiro.
Okay.
I was just finishing off his full name, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro.
Whatever. But he now has the goal scoring record.
Of most club goals, is it?
I believe is that. Oh, hang on. No, wait. Sorry. Just added my Palace, just added another few hundred goals after playing Fortnite.
Yeah, but you say, because he has taken over Czech playmaker Joseph B-Chan or B-Can. And I've seen this within the last 10 minutes. Bleacher Report have put out a thing saying the Czech FA have challenged reports that Ronaldo's 760th goal on Wednesday was a world record. They claim B-Can scored 821 official goals throughout his career.
What is this?
So you thought the Pele joke was good, but it turns out the Czech FA have gone one better and saying B-Can scored 821.
This is like something on Super Smash Bros. The game's like your battle. Is like, oh, what's this? New challenger.
It is incredible.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, whether it's a record or not, it's an incredible feat for Cristiano Ronaldo to score that many goals in his illustrious career so far.
Let's get to the game.
Right, so we finally came up with a name with it after 3 or 4 attempts. We've called it. I'll
go through this. You don't even know the name.
You only told me an hour ago.
Oh, and you forgot it already.
I'd literally said it after that talk about Ronaldo and Real Madrid. He'd gone out my head.
This is our alternative game. GCS, otherwise known as Guess This Squad.
Yep. So each time we play this, we both have to select a match from history, and so I've picked a match for Brad, and he has to guess the players, and vice versa. Before we guess, we say how many we think we can guess, and obviously we have only one chance to get one wrong. Otherwise, the next person goes on. So, what is your?
Just to confirm, bench players are allowed.
Yes. So, what is your game for me? As you went first last time.
I believe it's quite easy.
Okay.
So, remember, it was the last episode. I talked about how I'd recently watched Take the Ball, Pass the Ball.
Mm-hmm.
The Boss documentary. So I want you to name the team from the point in which I believe Man United's downfall slowly started to begin.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the 2011 Champions League final. Name the Barcelona 11 and subs.
Is that the one at Wembley?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
The one team in history that Sir Alex Ferguson himself has said, I just couldn't beat them.
How many do I think I can name from that squad?
Honestly, you should be naming the whole 11. The whole starting 11 is easy. In my mind.
I feel like I could probably do...
This is the team that people will go on record and argue that is the greatest club team in history.
I think I could probably do about 8 to 10, maybe?
8 to 10. I say, if you go pussy and name, I can only name 4. Like, you are...
No,
You've
okay.
taken the easy route.
I'll go with 10.
So,
So,
if you want to say 8 or 10, you're going to go 10. 10 is your final number.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go with Messi.
No.
Shut up. Messi.
Yes, he's in there, obviously.
David Villa.
He's in there.
Pedro Rodriguez. Okay, Chelsea's Pedro. P-E-D. Victor Valdez.
It's 4.
PK.
Gerard and luckiest bloke in the world is in there.
Abidal.
Abidal's in there.
Mascherano.
That's 7.
Fuck no.
I kind of hope you don't get this because then I have to know 10 of the last one.
Xavi.
That is 8.
Iniesta.
That is 9. One more. You've named starting 11, haven't you?
What position have I missed? Or positions have I missed?
I'm not telling you that one, have you?
So I said Messi, Pedro, Villa, Xavi, Iniesta, Abidal, Mascherano,
PK.
PK.
Did you say Valdez?
Yeah, Valdez was, I think, my 4th one.
One more.
Oh, Danny Alves. He would have been right back then, wouldn't he?
Danny Alves is your last guess.
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Get in.
Not a single bench player named there. That is. See, I'll let you off for this week. So the one player you didn't get was Busquets.
Okay, I've just pulled up the squad myself now. Carlos Puyol. I was tossing and turning between him and Mascherano in that defence.
Puyol was injured, so he'd only just come back before the game.
Yes. Bojan, Ibrahim Afellay, Thiago Alcantara, Seydou Keita, and Adriano. Not the Adriano, different Adriano. And, it was the backup keeper and Pep was the manager. Messi was just phenomenal that game, though.
Actually, this is the go-to Champions League final I always remember. It's like you just look at this team, not just Barcelona, but Man U as well.
Yeah,
it's like the peak of both of those eras.
That United team, just a quick run through, was Van der Sar in goal, Evra, Vidic, Ferdinand, Fabio, Valencia, Carrick, Giggs, Park, Rooney, Hernandez. On the bench of Kuszak, Smalling, Anderson, Nani, Scholes, Fletcher, and Darwin.
Just the peak of both sides. Dreading this.
I know. I kind of feel sorry for you, but I've got to go for the win some way or another. Cast your mind, if you will, fans, back to 2002 at St Andrews between Birmingham City and Aston Villa. It was Monday the 16th of September, if that helps. And the game finished 3-0 to Birmingham City. Name me the Aston Villa players.
Bastard. Kick a man down while he's already at his low.
I've had this saved up since the last episode because I thought, I don't think he's going to do well here.
Name this whole squad.
Yep.
Oh, and in my mind, I genuinely have like 4 players.
Okay.
Good luck to me. So, get the obvious. Peter ain't coming.
Ding!
I'm off Melberg.
Ding!
See, I'm even guessing from here now. 2002, what? Gareth Barry.
Ding!
Hitzelsberger.
Did you say Hitzelsberger as in Thomas Hitzelsberger?
Thomas Hitzelsberger, Der Hammer.
Uh-uh.
How?
Not in the squad at all.
Jesus.
So that's your one wrong. You can't get another one wrong.
2002.
JP.
Right, what was that?
JPA.
Maybe, can give me clues? Juan Pablo.
Yeah, Juan Pablo Angel. That's the only clue I'm giving you.
Okay. See, I'm disturbed you said that because I've had another strike on my mind that Swedish bloke. No, there's no way. Fuck it, it's Marcus Allback.
Wow, I wasn't expecting.
I don't know why I
get
remember
all
it.
back.
I
How
don't know why
did you get all back? Wow, okay.
I don't know what he's like, a bit of a cult like striker who didn't do much, but his name's just memorable. 2002. I'm gonna go for another one that was a bit in the same Allback territory. Is there? God rest his soul. Is Peter Whittingham in this team?
No.
Right, can I guess no one? There was another. Is there Joey Goodjohnson?
Yes.
I knew.
There's a good Johnson in there.
I wouldn't have had another after that.
Okay, so the one she didn't get was Allpay.
Oh, pie. He was a nutcase, he was.
Staunton, which I believe was Steve Staunton, was it?
Still?
Yeah. De La Cruz.
Oh my god. This actually feels terrible.
Kinsella.
Kinsella.
Samuel.
J-Lloyd.
And then the 2 substitutes that came on. The man himself that's got talent and plays the Jube, aka Dion Dublin.
Dion Dublin. Wait, I've got another one up here. I guess it's the Rice or Sal.
That was the other substitute.
That's silly. He was in the England team as well.
I'm surprised you didn't get the one sub that wasn't used. Lee Hendry.
It's obvious now, but it comes back.
And the other 2 were Postma, which I imagine was your...
Stefan Postma, yeah.
Yeah, and Moore. Was that I don't know. It's a BBC.
Stefan or Luke.
It's just a BBC report from 2002. It doesn't give you the name.
Yeah, the Moore brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done. You actually won one for a change.
Get in.
I mean, I made it easy for you.
Yeah, and I made that incredibly hard. Okay, do you remember what minute that
Oh, come on.
Peter Enkelman situation happened?
I can't remember if it was the first goal or the second goal. I don't remember the exact minute, but was it the second goal?
It was the second of the three. So second half.
Yeah. I mean, other than the League Cup win, it's still the greatest day in their club's history.
Yeah, it was the 77th minute, and what the situation was...
They're still selling the DVD of it in the club shop.
That wouldn't surprise me. So, Olaf Melberg took a throw-in from the left touchline, and Peter Enkelman shaped up for a routine clearance, but he missed the ball with his kick, allowing it to roll under his foot and into the net. And David Elray, the referee, allowed it to...
Oh, yeah, because no wrong with it.
Stand. I mean, to this day,
That was probably the lowest point in terms of our club against them. It's never been that low.
Yeah, incredible that game. I just always remember that Enkelman situation. The amount of times I've seen it on Premier League years was incredible.
September 2002, I would have been 5, 6, something like that.
I would have been 3 going on 4.
I don't know if it was this game, but I do distinctly remember being at like my uncle's house, and my uncle was like proper blue nose, and I went home crying.
Not surprised. I mean, that same weekend, I'll just give you a quick rundown of the other scores that weekend. So Sunday, Man City drew with 2-2 with Blackburn. Tottenham beat West Ham 3-2. Liverpool just about beat Bolton 3-2. Arsenal put 3 past Charlton. Chelsea put 3 past Newcastle. Everton beat Middlesbrough 2-1. Fulham put 3 past Sunderland. West Brom beat Southampton 1-0. And Leeds United beat Manchester United 1-0 in Rio Ferdinand's return to Elland Road.
Because I said that was just before Leeds were like that Champions League one.
That's the
Man United. September, I want to say the Arsenal won that league season.
2-3.
I'm going to say it was, because it was the Invincibles the year after, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think they did them 2 years, wasn't it? 02-03 and 03-04. But that Man United squad, no Man United won it that year. Arsenal came second.
Was, yeah. Ruud van Nistelrooy was 25 goals.
Yes. So the Man United team on that day against Leeds, Fabian Barthez in goal, John O'Shea, Rio Ferdinand, Laurent Blanc, Mikel Silvestre, Phil Neville, David Beckham, Nicky Butt, Ryan Giggs, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 2 substitutes that came on. Diego, everyone loves him, the mastermind from Uruguay, Forlan, and Luke Chadwick. And then subs not used, Ricardo, the goalkeeper, Pugh, and Roque was the other substitute, which was incredible. Right, that is all we have time for this week's episode. I don't think we've missed anything out. We've had a lot of rants, and hopefully by...
Still broken, but I'll get over it.
By next week,
at this point,
calm down.
I refuse to now say, well, how can it get much worse? Because it can.
It just proves it every time.
Should we predict that we get screwed over against Newcastle?
A penalty that's not a penalty?
Yeah, that doesn't feel as horrible as what that was.
And Tyrone Mings gets sent off, even though it's not a red card.
I'll be furious if we lose to Newcastle.
Our transfer show will be out later on today as well, where we look at anything happening in the world of transfers and updates on everything else that we talked about earlier on in the week. And we'll be back at the start of next week to review the FA Cup games, the Women's Super League, and anything else that happens in and around the world of football. Until then, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from my co-presenter Bradley Morris.
Probably for Tony Shaw is fucked.
And we will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.